Welcome to today's explainer. Today, we're taking a magnifying glass to a habit you've literally been doing your entire life. We're going to break down the exact science and the synergy of brushing and flossing. We're stripping away all the guesswork so you can really, truly protect your oral health.
40%. Seriously, let that sink in for a second. If your daily routine consists entirely of just brushing, no matter how aggressively or thoroughly you scrub, 40% of your tooth surfaces are being left completely untouched.
Think about the broad, easy-to-reach surfaces of your teeth. That makes up the 60% that brushing successfully hits. But that remaining 40%, that's hidden, highly vulnerable territory where plaque just thrives completely undisturbed. It's kind of like a silent zone where the vast majority of dental issues actually begin.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the foundation of brushing, then look at that unreachable 40%. Explore why flossing is the missing piece, compare brushing versus flossing, and finally, build your ultimate daily routine.
All right, let's jump right into part one, the foundation of brushing.
Look, you probably know the drill, but it's the bedrock of everything we're talking about. The absolute gold standard is brushing twice a day for exactly 2 minutes. Using a soft bristled brush held at a 45-degree angle to the gums is absolutely crucial. This lets you gently sweep away all that sticky plaque on the visible surfaces while applying enamel-strengthening fluoride right where you need it.
But here's where the plot thickens. Let's move on to part two, the unreachable 40%.
If we zoom way in, toothbrush bristles physically just cannot reach into those microscopic spaces between your teeth. The Indian Dental Association actually hits the nail on the head here, stating that brushing alone cleans only about 60% of tooth surfaces, and flossing should be done every time you brush to remove the rest. If you ignore that remaining 40%, the leftover plaque hardens into a super stubborn calcified substance called tartar. And that is what leads to chronic irritation and decay.
Which brings us to part three, flossing, the missing piece of the puzzle.
We really need to stop looking at flossing as just some tedious chore. It's actually a highly specialized tool. The U.S. National Institute of Dental and Craniofacial Research notes that flossing cleans between the teeth where brushing just can't reach. By sliding into those incredibly narrow gaps, you actively disrupt plaque colonies before they have a chance to calcify.
And honestly, technique is everything here. You want to grab about 18 inches of floss, winding the bulk of it around your middle fingers. The real secret is to wrap it around the side of the tooth in a gentle C shape. You're hugging the tooth. Oh, and definitely avoid snapping the floss down hard. That can actually cause tiny little injuries to your gums.
Okay, let's look at part four, brushing versus flossing.
It's super important to understand that these two methods are not interchangeable. They are perfectly anatomically complementary. Think of brushing as your broad sweep. It quickly clears wide, visible areas and delivers fluoride. Flossing, on the other hand, is a precision strike. It targets those tight interdental spaces and dips just underneath the gum line. You need the broad sweep twice a day, and you absolutely need that precision strike at least once. So, how do we put this all together? Let's move to part 5, your ultimate daily routine.
Here's your premium game plan for oral mastery, right at your bathroom sink. You start with a really thorough morning brush for 2 minutes. Midday, flossing is optional, but definitely helpful if you've got food stuck. After meals, you want to rinse with water or chew some sugar-free gum to neutralize those acids. Then, for your evening routine, you might actually want to consider flossing before you brush. Research suggests this maximizes plaque removal and lets the fluoride penetrate even deeper. And finally, complete the whole shebang with a final rinse.
Now, I know everyone's mouth is a little different, right? So let's tailor this advice. For kids, start flossing as soon as 2 teeth touch, usually around age 2 or 3. Teens and adults rocking braces should rely on floss threaders or interdental brushes to navigate those tricky wires. For seniors dealing with sensitive gums or dexterity issues, water flossers are a real game changer. Also, pregnant and diabetic individuals are actually at a much higher risk for gum disease due to systemic changes, making this routine absolutely vital. And here's a big one. If you have bleeding gums, that usually means plaque is trapped down there causing inflammation. You actually need to floss more gently and consistently, not skip it entirely.
And hey, if you feel like you need some hands-on guidance to really perfect this routine, the professionals are always ready to help out. For instance, residents in Hyderabad can visit experts like the ones at Apollo Dental Nallakunta to have their brushing and flossing technique professionally reviewed.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question. Are you still only cleaning 60% of your smile? Because now that you know about that hidden 40%, you have the power to upgrade your routine tonight.
Grab that floss, perfect that C-shape, and take total, uncompromising control of your oral hygiene. Thanks for learning with me today, and I highly encourage you to put this into practice the very next time you stand in front of the bathroom mirror.